A few days ago, I started a new project that I read some fairy tales. At the previous video, I tried to read The Three Little Pigs at the first step. So today, I'll tell you the story of Alice in Wonderland. This story was written by Lewis Carroll, who was an English author in 1865. I thought I tried to read with British accent, but my English is based on American accents, and there are a lot of differences of pronunciation comparing those two accents when I'm looking at some words of today's story. I'll challenge to read different accent with reading a story someday. I hope you enjoy this video.
Alice in Wonderland. Alice was growing tired, listening to her sister read. Just as her eyes began to close, she saw a white rabbit hurry by. Looking at his pocket watch and talking to himself, Alice saw that was very curious indeed. A talking rabbit with a pocket watch. So she followed him into a rabbit hole beneath a big tree. And down she fell, down to the center of the world, it seemed. When Alice landed with a thump, the white rabbit was just disappearing through a door, which was much too small for her. Alice drank from a bottle on the table and shrank down to a very tiny size. But now, she couldn't reach the key to the little door. At last, Alice found a way to get through the little door. Seated on a bottle, she floated into Wonderland on a mysterious sea. On the shore of the Wonderland Sea, Alice joined the race. It had no beginning, it had no end. You just run around and around. All through Wonderland Alice went. In search of the white rabbit, she met two jolly fellows, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. They didn't know the rabbit, but they told Alice a wonderful story about a walrus and a carpenter who walked beside the sea. Alice listened politely, then she hurried on, and finally at a neat little house in the woods. She met the white rabbit himself. The rabbit sent Alice into his little house to hunt for his gloves, but instead, she found some cookies. The rabbit take one, so she did. The cookie made Alice grow as big as a house. The white rabbit and his friend Dodo thought she was a dreadful monster. Alice picked a carrot from the rabbit's garden. Eating it made her small again. So small that she was so lost in the forest of grass. Soon, Alice found herself in a garden of life. Talking flowers. There were birds and butterflies and rocking horseflies too. Alice thought the garden was a pleasant place, but the flowers thought Alice was just a weed. So, they would not let her stay. Next, Alice met a healthy caterpillar. He told her to eat the mushroom that he was sitting on if she wished to change her size. Alice sampled one side of the mushroom and shot up taller than the treetops, frightening the birds. But another bite made her just the right size.
Now, which way shall I go?
Alice wondered. The signposts she found along the path were no help. They pointed in every direction.
If I were looking for the white rabbit, I'd ask the Mad Hatter. He lives down there,
said a grinning Cheshire cat up in the tree. Alice found the Mad Hatter and the March Hare celebrating their own birthdays at a tea party. She joined them for a while. After that nonsensical tea party, Alice wanted to go home. But none of the strange creatures she met seemed to know the way. Alice wandered into the Queen's garden, but the gardeners could not help her. They were all busy as could be, painting the roses red. Then along came the royal procession, and who should be the royal trumpeter for the Queen of Hearts but the White Rabbit himself. The Queen asked Alice to play croquet, but Alice didn't like the looks of the game. "Always ahead!" cried the Queen. Away Alice ran, while the army of cards chased her down all the tangled paths of Wonderland and back to the river bank.
I'm glad to be back where things are really what they seem,
said Alice as she woke up from her strange Wonderland dream.